is one of the most emotionally charged phrases in modern culture, and it's also one of the most misunderstood. At its core, it doesn't mean abandoning evidence, due process, or critical thinking. It means starting from a place of taking allegations seriously rather than dismissing them outright. Historically, women who have reported sexual assault have been ignored, they've been discredited, they've been blamed for centuries. The default response isn't skepticism, it's outright dismissal. So Believe Women emerged as a corrective, because the reality is sexual assault is one of the most underreported crimes. Many survivors never come forward at all, often because they fear exactly what has traditionally happened: not being believed, being scrutinized more than the accused, or facing social and professional consequences. And when people do come forward, they're often asked questions that imply doubt right away. What were you wearing? Why didn't you report it sooner? Why were you there? Questions that, intentionally or not, shift the focus away from the crime, the allegation, and onto the person that's reporting it. So the phrase, Believe Women, is really about changing that starting point. Instead of immediate skepticism, it's asking for initial empathy and seriousness. It's about listening first, recognizing the difficulty of speaking up, and understanding the broader context that has historically discouraged reporting. And at the same time, this is where the tension comes in. Because we live in a system that values due process. Well, we used to. Due process and fairness, especially when serious accusations are involved. People worry about the consequences of false accusations, reputational damage, and the importance of evidence. So the challenge becomes balancing two things that can feel in conflict: supporting survivors and maintaining fairness in how allegations are handled. But those don't have to be opposites. You can take somebody seriously, listen and support and investigate without skipping the steps that ensure accuracy and fairness. And in fact, taking allegations seriously requires a proper process. Ignoring someone isn't fairness, it's neglect. The broader cultural shift here is about who we center in these conversations. For a long time, the focus was on protecting the accused from false claim. But now there's growing recognition that we also need to consider the very real harm of dismissing legitimate allegations and complaints. And that shift doesn't eliminate complexity, it highlights it. Because ultimately, Believe Women isn't a legal standard, it's a cultural one. It's about moving from reflexive doubt to thoughtful engagement, from dismissal to listening, and from silence to accountability, because accountability is what is missing in the majority of these cases. Women don't come forward because there's no fucking accountability for the men that run the system. The real question isn't whether we should believe everything without question. It's whether we're willing to take people seriously enough to hear them in the first place. I take these women seriously. I believe them, and I will keep believing them because that's the right thing to do.